Hello, I am Lee.
And I'm Cass.
And this is another Convo! Surprise! Not really, it's in the title.
That's true.
Yes.
Today, we are talking about...
It's kind of fun as stories when we're writing together, since we
Yes.
do it over Skype, like instances where we were writing something and we go, wait, or...
Yeah.
Or like, why did you do that? Or maybe we should do this. Yeah.
Just like little funny conversations we have.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm not sure how much of those Cass remembers.
I remember none of them, so she's gonna lead and I'm going to be like, I remember now.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, so the first one I kind of remember is we're writing the story where two of our characters sort of get in an argument, and my character can't think of a good comeback, and she's really upset with him, so she goes and she punches him in the face, and the next thing I know, Cassie's writing, and his nose was broken, and there was blood, and I'm like, what? No! I'm like, I didn't mean for her to break his nose, and she's like, and you're like, well, it's broken now, no going back, and I'm like,
I don't remember that at all, but that sounds like something I would do, because like I just like the drama between Nerissa and Seamus.
Yeah, it is fun when they, honestly, the whole entire first half of their fight, we both really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Because apparently we like arguing with each other through book form.
Apparently.
So, and then there's this other time where my character came up with this whole like undercover plan, and Seamus decides to join at the last minute, and she's going under as like a civilian, right? And she's like, yeah, sure, I guess you can come along, and they get to the Thieves Guild, and she starts talking, and then I go, wait, and Cassie's like, yeah, and I'm like, what is Seamus wearing? And I'm like, is he, because I know he's wearing armor, but like, does it have the insignia of the army on it? And Cassie's like,
No. Totally not.
No, the armor doesn't have that on it. I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, but he obviously looks like a soldier with metal plate armor, so
Yeah.
we're like, okay, we just gotta run with this now. This happened.
Because I remember the way, like, Seamus dresses is he has, like, leather under armor or whatever, like, around the joints and stuff, and they have plain plates over that. So, like, his, like, whatever, like, suit of armor. And then he has, like, his helmet and shoulder, like, breastplate kind of stuff. Like, the full shebang with the insignia on it. I was just like, okay, he just doesn't have the stuff with the insignia on it.
Yeah, she didn't even tell me that part. She's like, he's wearing the chest plate, but the insignia is, like, faded?
I don't remember that at all.
I'm not sure if you exactly said it was faded, but I remember you saying it kinda wasn't there, and I was like, what does kinda not there mean?
I think I was probably thinking, like, he has a chest plate with an insignia, but he's not wearing it. I just didn't say it right.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. And then what is it? It's always fun where it's like, wait, or was it, well, Cassie will start writing something, and she'll be like, wait, why did you write it like that? I'll be like, remember, my character can't read, and she's always like, oh, yeah.
I always completely forget that.
Because it's just so normal usually to have your characters be able to read. I'm like, no, my character's illiterate, Cass, and you get with the program.
Program. I don't know.
I'm like, she never had a formal education. What did you expect?
I forgot that she doesn't have a formal education, that's all.
Or how, like, sometimes we'll start writing something and we'll be like, wait, what does this character look like again? Or what is their name? We had one character.
Oh, yeah. Where we had, like, named him, and then we had forgotten we named him, so we named him something else, and then one time Lee was going back through it, and she goes, so apparently this character already has a name. Which name do you want to go with? And I go, can we go with this name? Because I named him that. And she goes, you named him both times.
She did. I can't remember the first name that we did, but we decided on the name Remy. That is the character's official name now.
Yeah, because he looks like a rat, so I was like, Remy the rat, obviously.
And before I think it was something like Paul or Jack or something
Like
generic.
I think it was like Andrew.
Yeah. Oh, Andy. It was Andy.
Andy.
It was Andy, and we changed it to Remy because you were like Andy. I'm like, oh, that's so fitting. And then we're like Remy. It's Remy. It's definitely Remy now.
Yeah. Because I think originally the way I imagined him was a little bit stockier and like very Andy, and now he's just like Remy.
Yeah, because I said he was a mousy man. Is how I'm always describing him.
So like I always like he has like a thin face. He has big eyes. You know, very Remy. I don't think anyone's going to understand that, but it makes sense.
And it's so funny too because sometimes we'll be writing the description, so we're like, wait, do you mean it looks like this? And we'll be like, no, more like this. And we're like, there's like conflictions of like mental imagery sometimes.
Yeah, that your character, the one that you really like that I hate. What's his name?
Oh gosh, Sinnoh.
Oh, I always pronounce it Sino.
Yes, I know you do.
Okay. Sinnoh. I think like I imagined his hair as. Like, one of us imagined it as disheveled, and the other one imagined it very neat.
Yeah, you imagined it neat, mine was disheveled, because it's like he doesn't really care about his appearance.
Because I always imagined Sinnoh a very proper, regal man, like, with his slicked back hair, and he's like, I'm better than you, kind of thing. But that's because Seamus doesn't like him at all, so I don't like him, but Nerissa likes him, so Lee likes him.
Well, I don't necessarily, Nerissa doesn't like him, she's just like, he exists.
Yeah.
It's more her opinion. And me, I actually like Sinnoh as the character. I have to admit, as the author, I really do like him.
I don't.
I find him fun to write.
Okay, well, she's going inside, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about Sinnoh. I always imagined him very neat, kind of like very proper, and Lee didn't. But Seamus didn't like Sinnoh at all. I really enjoyed writing their fights, because Sinnoh would always like refer to Seamus like as a dog or something like that. Oh, like, ugh, you're a dog kind of thing, like derogatory. And Sinnoh was like their superior, and so he would be like, oh, you have to do what I say, and Seamus would be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So it was like always really fun to kind of write like that stubbornness, and then later in the story, like the power kind of flipped, and so Seamus started referring to him like, oh, like you have to do what I say, like I'm in charge of you now, because like Sinnoh couldn't do anything about it. So that was really fun to write too, just like, because Seamus is a very prideful character, he's very proud, and he's just very like, he's hot-headed and he's stubborn, and he's just a bundle of flaws, and it's so much fun to write because it's like I can like get like a lot of like the negative emotions out that like you're not really supposed to show like in like this day and age through him, and then but like he's still like just like I think he's a very lovable character. He is to me because he's my baby. But it's all, one of the things is it's really fun to write the interactions is between Seamus and Nerissa, because Seamus doesn't really have a lot of social awareness, and he's very in love with Nerissa, and Nerissa's like, okay, I guess I'll tolerate you kind of thing, and like I think a lot of what we portray is kind of like a slightly like unhealthy relationship slowly learning how to be healthier. I think that might be one of the things we kind of portray, which is, I mean, that's kind of trying to portray through Seamus, is he's not like the healthiest person emotionally, but he's like learning kind of thing, because like people can learn. And so it's a lot of fun, like, writing, like, the interactions between Seamus and Nerissa, and, like, how, like, Seamus is like, I'll do whatever you want, and she's like, get away from me. Or, like, she's just, like, very angry or whatever with him. Or, like, she obviously doesn't want him to be near her, and then he's just like, I'm gonna be here anyways, you can't get rid of me, kind of thing. Which is kind of like, you know, like, he definitely does not give her space. And he needs to give her space sometimes, and he just doesn't. But he's learning, you know?
Okay.
Lee's back.
Yay! Call taken. Iris is counted. Moving on.
Okay. No context.
No context for any of this. Good fun. So the other thing about imagery context, sorry, my dog is coming, we must have her.
That's okay.
Is that, give me a second, I gotta get my train of thought back again. Okay, so there's one time me and Casty had an argument about how a door opened. Do you remember this one?
I feel like you're kind of offended about this one. So I'm gonna say no, I don't remember it, but I think I definitely do.
With the warehouse, like, was it 12.
Yeah, the warehouse, and I think it, like, opened, like, a...
Yeah, you thought it opened, like, inwards. And by the way, which doesn't make sense. If you're bringing golds in, it should open outwards. Or at least be able to open both ways like barn doors.
I thought it was like barn doors. I thought it was like the swinging kind
and
of
I thought
doors.
it was like sliding rattle doors. So I mentioned that the door rattled as I opened it, and she goes, "No, it can't rattle." I'm like, "But it's a sliding."
creaks.
You're like, "It's a slide. It creaks." I'm like, "Sliding doors can creak. They rattle and creak." And
Sliding doors rattle, they don't creak.
you see? And we had this whole argument for like a whole 5 minutes, and I was like, and eventually I just went, "You know what? This is stupid. We're not fighting over how a door opens. Fine, it opens the way you want it to."
I have a tendency to argue until I'm right. Probably not extremely healthy.
No, not really. But I was just like,
I'm sorry.
It's a door. I don't care anymore.
I'm sorry. I will work on that in the future.
And then there was another time where it's like we imagined a house in the outskirts of town. I was like thinking on the very edge of town, and you're like in the woods, and I was like, "Sure, we can make it in the woods."
Yeah, because
like that wasn't what I imagined. I'm like, but that works.
Yeah, I don't really remember that one, but
yeah, and I was like, and then I think you actually thought that one was at the house when I said on the outskirts of town. You thought it was actually like deep in the forest or something, because you thought like it took a day to walk to. I'm like, no, it's like connected to the town.
yeah, no, I thought it was just like abandoned.
Yeah, she was like, I just thought it was an abandoned house in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, no.
I mean, those are real.
Yeah, they were real, but that wasn't what I was talking about. I was like, no. So those are all the ones I can think of that I like always really made me laugh. Especially like, wait, what direction were they traveling again?
North? Yeah, oh, one of the things I do is I'm like, "Hey Lee, what's this detail again?" And then as I'm writing, she'll just scroll up and like read it, and she'll be like, "Oh, it's this."
Yeah. And I scroll. She's smarter. She like types in the words and does the search thing, and she's like, this. And I'm like, you are so smart. I every time I go,
yeah, because it's like, she's gonna take like 10 minutes to do that, so I'm just gonna search it.
She sometimes usually finds it faster than I do. Oh, I remember one time you were writing a conversation between Seamus and Nerissa, and I go, "You caused her to have a nervous breakdown. Are you happy now, Cassidy?"
Yes, very.
And you're like, "It's not my fault." And
It's Seamus's, obviously.
And you're like, "You're the one who's writing Nerissa. You can make her not have one." I'm like, "But it's not realistic."
Well, it's not realistic that Seamus wouldn't cause her to have a nervous breakdown.
Pretty much.
Just with how their relationship is.
Yeah. Like, Nerissa generally has a neutral opinion of everyone, but she also is, like, doesn't trust everyone at the same time. She's like, "I don't hate you nor love you. You're just exist." That's just her view on everyone. And she's like, "I don't trust you because history has shown that people aren't trustworthy."
Yeah. That's how I am in real life, is like, I don't know you, therefore I don't trust you.
I mean, which is fair. It's safe to assume that.
That's true.
You definitely are safer that way, but it's also sad because you miss out on some other things occasionally.
That's true. I'm not too sad about missing out on them.
I mean, as long as you don't regret it, it's fine.
Right.
In my mind, you know? I think that's all I can think of for right now. I'll probably go through and reread the story and then think of like 50 more. And
we can do a part 2 or something.
Yeah,
like
and then we can do a part 2.
So.
I know there's other times we've written in other stories too. I don't think I remember those as well though, because that was a while ago.
Yeah.
A while ago.
We haven't written in a while.
No, we haven't. Because D&D started happening, and then it's like, well, that's the one free day Cassidy had.
Yeah.
Which, you know, D&D is fun, so I didn't mind.
Okay, that's good.
Plus, I didn't ask you because I just figured it took up your one free day, and so I was just like,
yeah.
I know she's studying for exams and stuff. It's fine.
Oh, I passed my finals.
I know.
I told you that, didn't
Yes,
I?
you did.
I don't remember.
You
that.
texted me. She doesn't remember a lot of our conversations sometimes.
Oops. I blame it on my illnesses.
I blame everything on my ADHD, so it's fine.
Fine.
I'm not using it as a crutch.
No, not at all. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Like and subscribe.
Again.